Frieman here with a special live edition of Friedman Adventures. And we're going to go up to the Channel Islands and check with my dear friend, Captain Daniel Hadawi of the Island Spirit. Daniel, good to see you, man. How are you?
Great to see you, Phil. Doing well. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm so looking forward to our trip on Friday. We've got Paulina Varela. She's driving up from Ensenada with her mom. Scott Bucher's going
Awesome.
to make an appearance. Doug Tilk is going to be there. It's
Uh,
going to be a cast of characters, and it sounds like it's going to be a great trip.
yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait to have you guys back out with us.
All right, perfect. And I understand the kind of the game plan right now is we're going to look for some sea bass, fall back on the rockfish, more than likely. Whether we catch sea bass or not, we're still going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll spend a good amount of time trying to catch you guys some sea bass, halibut, stuff like that, and yeah, make sure we send you guys home with a bunch of bottom fish, do some rockfish, whitefish, all that good stuff.
Well, whether you guys up there in the Channel Islands like it or not, you guys, you've been the epicenter of some really great fishing, number one. And number two, when you jump on the boats like the Island Spirit, you get that almost San Diego feel to the customer service, the attention to detail, how good you guys are on deck. And man, I'll tell you, you're doing a fantastic job. Today was another great day. Let's just focus on today. Where'd you fish?
Yeah,
How'd it go? What was the deal?
yeah, we fished around Santa Cruz. We had a great day. We had tons of kids on the boat, tons of novice anglers. We pretty much just fished on the anchor in the shallow water all day. Tons of whitefish, rockfish, sheephead, all that good stuff. It was really good quality and fun fishing.
Excellent.
Um,
Tackle wise, are you fishing lighter tackle? Can you fish light stuff and
yeah,
fish a
yeah,
plastic?
absolutely. Yeah. Even we were like 100, 120 feet of water, but we still had people use 12-ounce sinkers just because there's been quite a bit of current. Just kind of, especially when the boat has 30 people, 35 people, helps us keep our lines more straight up and down and keep us out of tangles. Even on the anchor, when you get a good amount of current, people's lines kind of all want to go the same direction. So still using like 12-ounce sinkers, small little hooks like size 1 J hooks, better for that whitefish. And yeah, also it's good to bring some smaller sinkers like 4 ounces and 8 ounces maybe for sea bass, halibut fishing, and then maybe some heavier sinkers in case we go fish deep.
All right. Mad Dog Anthony says hello. He's on here with us. Anthony, always great to see you. Haven't seen you for at least 30 seconds. And Travis Bright, who wouldn't miss a trip on the Island Spirit. He's always on our trips. We love Travis. He's doing such a great job.
We do.
Can't wait to see him on Friday. So on your trips, you're listed as a half day trip, but that's kind of a
Mhm.
misnomer. I mean, you fish a lot longer than a half day. Are you getting a fair
Yeah.
shot at sea bass and halibut? Did you get a shot at it today at all?
Yeah, we did. We did spend a little bit of time, more than a little bit. We got in at 6:15 today. We spent quite a bit of time looking at the end of the day, and yeah, there was a school of sea bass around. We stopped on it several times. It was hard to get a bite. It was finicky, but we did end up hooking a couple, and unfortunately losing it because of poor tackle choices at guys fishing 20-pound for some reason. But for the future, we're gonna make sure that everybody's fishing 30, 40 pound at least, and hopefully get another shot at them tomorrow.
I bought Scott Bucher a baseball bat. I will have him walk around with that bat. And if a person doesn't have proper monofilament, he can take a whack at him. How's that sound?
I like that. That should work.
So, are white flukes something that a guy like Travis who likes to fish artificial,
Yeah.
should he bring some of those?
Yeah, absolutely. The flukes do work really good, and it's never a bad idea to bring your flukes with you anytime you're fishing around the Channel Islands.
All right, good stuff. Mauricio says, when is the first halibut stock? When is the first halibut stock?
I don't know anything about that. I'm not sure.
Mauricio, maybe, yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking there, my friend. Try to refine that question a little bit. Daniel, so what are the hours of the Island Spirit? When do you run?
Yeah, we leave at 8 a.m. Sometimes a little bit earlier if everybody shows up and is ready to go. We encourage everybody to arrive at 7 and get signed in. Like to get you guys on the boat by 7:30, and we like to leave as soon as everybody's there. But yeah, 8 a.m. the our departure time, and our arrival time's listed at 4 o'clock. But you should usually expect to probably get home closer to 5:30.
All right. Mauricio said that was a joke. He's dealing with a couple of guys with sleep deprivation here. So
Gotcha.
sorry that went flying over our heads. Uh, yeah, I mean, I haven't had any sleep, and I know you haven't either, Daniel. Um, a lot of people have been concerned about the weather. In fact, I saw a couple guys up there in the Channel Islands throw the towel in early today. How was your weather, and what's it look like for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, coming into today, I never really knew that there was any concern with the weather. I thought it looked fine. But yeah, a bunch of guys turned around this morning. But yeah, we went out and it was fine. I mean, our ride in the channel wasn't great, but it's nothing out of the ordinary for fishing in Ventura. Um, but yeah, once we got to the island, we had perfect conditions, great weather all day, and we even had a nice ride home. So weather should be just as good tomorrow, and looks pretty good for the foreseeable future for us locally here.
And it's kids fish free tomorrow. What are
Correct.
the particulars about that?
Yeah. So if you guys want to take advantage of that Kids Fish Free Sunday special, you can bring a child ages 12 or under for free with each paid adult ticket. And to take advantage of that offer, you can just call the landing 805-676-3474. They'll help you they'll help you get that sorted out. And you guys can also walk on. We do take walk-ons. So make sure you're there nice and early, and you can see Saul in the landing tomorrow, and get you taken care of as well.
All right. Unforgiving Smoke heard that we are suffering from sleep deprivation. So he's going to try to get me to shout his dog's name, which I am not going to fall for because I'm tuned up. If it's your dog's birthday, really, we wish your dog a happy
Mhm.
birthday.
Yeah.
Phil, does the bluefin tuna bite slow down on the new moon, just like the full moon? Daniel, I'll throw that to you. We have seen that bluefin tuna put its nose in the mud on these full moons. I don't think so much on the new moon though, but you're the pro, you're out there all the time. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been quite a while since I've been tuna fishing, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm the wrong guy to ask.
I think it's been mostly that full moon. At least that's what I've been
Yeah.
noticing. You come up on that full moon, and those San Diego boys that just start telling me, "Man, here we go into this moon phase. This sucks."
Mhm.
And just like clockwork, that fish puts its nose in the mud. So I think it's more of that kind of thing. You get to the new moon, and you don't have that brightness of the moon. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. Daniel, in
Yeah.
terms of, you mentioned 12-ounce sinkers are probably appropriate in case you get a lot of wind and or current. Is that what people should bring, 12, or should they bump up to a 16? Do you think that would be appropriate?
Yeah, I think for a day like tomorrow, we take it into consideration that we have a lot of kids fishing. We want to keep it comfortable and enjoyable for them. Don't want to force them to drop into super deep water if we don't have to. So we're most likely going to fish shallow, like to keep it under 150 feet all day. So you probably don't need anything heavier than like a 10 or a 12-ounce sinker.
All right, very good. And he wants to know, is it the fast moving current that causes the bluefin to go down? I don't think anybody knows exactly what it is. That does contribute to it. You want to stay vertical when you're fishing jigs at night, and that makes it a little bit more
Yeah.
difficult. Isaac says, "Good evening. How's the rock fishing? Is it still good?" Daniel.
Yeah, the rock fishing's excellent. We had like I said, we didn't even fish deep today. And we still had tons of really good quality rockfish, big reds, nice blue bass, groupers, stuff like that, all in the shallow water. So the shallow water is actually very productive right now for rockfish, whitefish, sheephead, lingcod, all that good stuff.
When you say shallow water, you talking 200 feet or less? Is that how you would define that, or shallower?
Yeah, yeah, even shallower though. We've been fishing like 100 to 150 feet, kind of. Yeah.
That's cool. That is so much fun. Those fish actually, I mean, they pull like a bass a lot of times in that short water.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of guys are fishing plastics and little light jigs and having fun with that stuff on light tackle, and Yeah, it's a good time. I think it's a lot more fun than dropping down in 500 feet.
Yeah, for sure. Man, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
on here, and Jennifer Trexler is one of those people. Do you know Jennifer by any chance? Daniel?
Uh, maybe, probably. I'd have to see her. I'm bad with names.
Jennifer, good to have you with us. She wanted to say hi. She's on here with us. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us here. Glacier Shark wants to know, do the sea bass bite every spring?
They do.
Nothing. Nothing. Oh, do they? Okay, go ahead.
They bite every spring. They bite every summer. They sometimes bite in the fall, and they bite in the winter. They eat all the time, just like we do.
You got
But they are around in bigger numbers, definitely in the springtime and summertime. That'd be the uh, most productive time to try to catch a sea bass. Is probably sometime between April and July.
while I am totally impressed with the sea bass fishing that's going on up there, I'm equally impressed with the great halibut fishing. It's been stupendous, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been good. There's good halibut fishing at the islands. Locally. Um, yeah, we've just been super duper lucky the last couple of years with the like resurgence of the halibut stock around here, and just how good that fishery's been. So it doesn't look like it's slowing down.
No, it doesn't. Daniel Glacier Shark says he wants to plan a trip for next year. If you had to pick a month for him to schedule a trip for sea bass, what would it be? If you had to pull a month out of the hat?
I would say go fishing in early May. I think early May, the limits one, the sea bass tend to bite really good, and they're usually a lot bigger. If you're trying to chase a bigger fish, you want to get a personal best, something like that. Um, May seems like the best month. Early in May, late in April, something like that. It's been
Yeah. And the
when the
next
bigger
guy,
fish have been around in the last couple of years.
yeah, and the next guy to leave a comment basically said, "Hey, if you want a sea bass, go now because they're biting, man." You've run the
Yeah,
Endeavor a couple of
absolutely.
times and limited out on sea bass. In fact, somebody was
Yeah.
on the trip. I forget who it was, and they sent me a video, and I saw you running around with a gaff, and I go, "Oh shoot, Daniel's running the boat."
Ariel. Ariel
Yeah,
was there.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That was
Yeah.
really cool. Let's see. Representative, I'm having a hard time reading that, but I can read the question. Are we catching yellowtail at Catalina Island? And are we using live bait? There's been good yellow action there for some private boaters fishing with live squid. Israel de la Cruz, I was out fishing on the Channel Islands at the shop. I saw Daniel's plaque with his record halibut. Why don't you tell everybody about
Nice.
that? I know you've told it before, but Israel wants to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was it's a super cool and special memory that I have from my childhood when I was out fishing on the Mirage with Tucker, who I work for now. Yeah, um, even back then, Tucker was the man, and we loved fishing with him. He was always the you know best guy around, and me and my dad used to go out all the time with him when he ran the Mirage, and we had some really phenomenal trips with him. So we had a trip where we caught 130 halibut or something crazy, and
Wow.
uh, they were really nice, great fish. And I was lucky enough to catch a 55 pounder. Yeah.
Damn. Have you come close to that since that time?
Um, I think I've got a couple in the 40s, but no, I don't think I ever got a 50 pounder
Those are
since.
such bitchin'
They're
fish. How
rare.
old how
Yeah,
old were you when you caught that?
I was 14.
Wow. What a memory, man.
Yep.
No wonder you're doing what you're doing after that.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Doug Tilk is here. We love Doug. Doug, how you doing, my friend? Hi, boys. Got my tackle in the living room. I'm ready to go. He'll be there on Friday, as I mentioned to you earlier on, so that'll be great also.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you, Doug.
Salty truffle butter. What the F happened to the guy on the right? Who's that, me? Am I on the right? I don't know.
You're on the left. I'm on the right, for me at
Oh.
least.
Yeah, what happened to you?
I
Nothing,
don't know.
right?
A lot.
Yeah, if he was talking about me, man, we don't have time to go into my depravity and insanity. So
Yeah, me
thank God,
neither.
thank God he was picking on you. What's that say? Tom, can you read that? Perlman?
Tom.
You know Tom Perlman? Oh my God, we lost Daniel? He'll be back. Daniel, are you there? Hey, everybody. I do want to tell you this before Daniel comes back. If he comes back, he may not come back. I think he will. We have just arranged to have a very special raffle. The raffle will take place next Saturday. It is for a $1,700 trip, a 3-day trip, all paid for on the Shogun. And we have reels going into this and rods going into this. We'll have it all finalized for you tomorrow. But if you want to get in on some information early, you can call Chuck Zimmer. He is at 310 918 1448 or send them a text. So that's 310-918-1448 for 20 bucks. You can win a 3-day trip on board the Shogun. If you can't make the dates of the trip, we're going to have rail rods and spinning reels and a lot more. Chuck's putting that whole list together, but I wanted to make that clear to you all right now as we may have lost Daniel. I'll go through a few more comments here. But I just want to let you all know that we just were given a great trip on board the Shogun, and we're going to raffle it off for our Mexico efforts. It will help us to ship more goods down to Mexico. We're starting the nonprofit, and the nonprofit is going to do a lot of work here in the United States. We've been doing a lot of Mexico, and there's a lot of people who need our help up here in the USA. Also, our veterans, they need some help here on Memorial Day weekend. We keep them in our hearts and prayers and thoughts always. And so with the nonprofit, we'll be doing a lot of more outdoor stuff, getting people out to the outdoors for their mental health and for their physical health. So we're going to be doing that. One more time again, I'll give you Chuck's number. Text him if you want to get in early, get your tickets early. You're going to have a few days to do this, but a 3-day trip on the Shogun, $1,700 value. We'll be raffling that along with several other great prizes. It will be worth several $1,000s, and you can get more information tonight before we firm up all the details. You can do that by texting 310-918-1448. Maybe Daniel's battery went screwy or something like that. Let me go down
You got
here.
me back, Phil?
Hey, Daniel, we can't see you, but we
Hey.
can hear you.
Oh, right on. I just got a phone call. Sorry. I tried to get rid of it. And I don't know. I see myself on my stream and you.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, maybe I'm the only one who can't. Maybe everybody else. We can hear you, so that's
right on.
that's all we need, man. And probably everybody else can see you. For some reason, I can't. Hey, good to have you back. Let's get back into this. And we've got Joseph Wilson saying Captain Daniel is the best. I second that, Daniel. You do a fantastic job.
Thank you,
This gentleman
Joseph.
says, "What would you say average halibut size are up in the Channel Islands right now?" Great question.
I will say that we do not have many shorts. The majority of the fish we catch are nice legals, I'd say, like probably like 10, 12 pound average, and there is a healthy amount of standouts. We get them uh, north of 30 pounds, 40 pounds pretty regularly. So really good quality halibut up here.
You are not kidding. Hey, everybody, hit that like button so Daniel and I don't break into tears at the end of tonight's show. Steve Bermudez, do the tides affect white sea bass fishing?
Um, at times, absolutely. Sometimes sea bass fishing is super tide dependent, and other times they just bite nails. You really, it's not something you can really predict, but you put your time in, and a lot of times you'll notice that you're getting bit on a certain tide, whether it's a high tide, low tide, slack tide. Um, but the most important thing is trying hard, fishing hard. You always want to have your line in the water. I like to tell people, it can be boring sometimes, but you're not gonna catch them in the galley. You got to be ready to go. Like when we're driving around and like stopping on schools of fish that are moving. You can't be sitting inside in the galley. You're not gonna catch one. You gotta have your rod in your hand and pretty much have your sinker hanging over the side, ready to go for when we stop. So it's just important to be persistent, not really worry about tides or anything like that, and just put in the time at the rail, and you'll do well.
Is it when you say the tide, is it on the high tide? Is it on the outgoing, or is it different? You can't tell. You just never know.
I mean, you never know. It's different at Santa Rosa and Anacapa and Santa Cruz, and I'm sure it's different at Catalina. It's just you're never really gonna know when they're gonna bite, but you just gotta put the time in. It's the biggest thing.
All right, there you go. Scott Buchert, that is addressed to you. If you're in the galley on our Friday trip trying to impress Paulina with tales of big fish that you've caught, instead of out working hard, you're not going to catch anything. So there you go. Glacier
That's right.
Shark says, thank you both for your helpful and informative live stream. Thank you, Glacier Shark, for being here. Both
Thank
Daniel
you.
and I really appreciate it. Robert Graber joins us. We love Robert checking in late, but love these 8:05 live updates. See you on Friday. Man, that's going to be a fun trip, Daniel. I can't wait for that. And
Can't wait.
tomorrow's going to be an awesome trip. Kids fish free on the Island Spirit. 805-676-3474. This gentleman says you are on right, Phil. Oh, thank you. I don't even know what side I'm on. Chris Knott. I used to catch white sea bass at Catalina Island. Um, Seal Rocks, yeah, that's a great spot to catch them down east there. In the middle, on the right of blacks, with the blacksmith perch, 50 plus, very common for us. Are you familiar with Catalina Island, Daniel? Do you know that island very well? Probably not that well, right?
A little bit. I mean, I did work in San Pedro for a little bit, so yeah, I have fished Catalina.
Oh, okay, there you go. So
Yeah.
yeah, down east used to be where we would catch fish all the time. Down there, Ben West and Seal Rocks,
Mhm.
Silver Canyon, all those spots were really red hot at one time. Anthony Mad Dog says, I can see him, but his voice always lovely to hear. Sounds like you got a fan there. The dog, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Doug Tilk, tackle tips for the trip, the pound test, etc. So for our Friday trip, we're leaving early at 5:30 in the morning. Could you go over that one more time again, please, Daniel? Do you mind?
Yeah, no problem. I would bring probably two setups is all you need. Maybe bring one lighter setup, something like for inshore fishing, shallow water stuff. Maybe like a 25-pound setup, 25-pound mono or fluorocarbon. Then maybe a medium setup, like a 30-pound, 40-pound stick. Want some 4-ounce sinkers, 8-ounce sinkers, maybe a couple 12s, and maybe just bring one 16 in case we go deep. We might not have to, but it's good to have just in case. As far as hooks, I'd bring some size 2 hooks, size 1 hooks, and some 5.0 Aki twist hooks. And then, yeah, your 25, 30, 40-pound fluorocarbon, and that should cover it.
All right, there you go, Doug, and a really big bouquet of flowers for Paulina. So you beat the hell out of Scott. That's all I'm
There you
curious
go.
about. Israel De La Cruz was out the other day. He said the biggest halibut on that trip was a nice 35-pounder. Lit free, die free says, good evening, gentlemen. Looks like Abdul, is it? Says hi. If I'm screwing up the names, I'm sorry, guys. Joe says, going on the Vagabond soon. Good luck, Joe. Israel De La Cruz, I have a question for Daniel. When I went out on the Seabiscuit, the water was murky at the landing, and halfway out into the channel, it cleaned up. Is that normal, or was it a red tide thing?
Yeah, so that is red tide. It's common. It happens every year. It's not out of the ordinary. It is pretty extreme, I'd say, this year. I've never seen it this bad and that far out. I think that red tide comes from some sort of acid or something from plankton rotting offshore. I don't know. It smells bad. It looks bad. The water in the harbor is like completely brown. It looks like toilet water pretty much. It's definitely not pretty, but yeah, it is normal. It happens every year, and it's obviously not gonna stay forever. It'll clear up before too long.
Yeah, it's a natural occurring
Yeah.
phenomenon. And Daniel, I fished out of Ensenada maybe 3 weeks ago, and we
Mhm.
ran for a while, all the way outside the harbor. It was looked like coffee,
Yeah.
all the way, and then water cleaned up, and then we started catching bass right away. So, like Daniel says, that will clean up in time, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. Steve Bermuda says, "Time at the rail. Does that mean I cannot enjoy a Super Daniel burger in the galley?" Of course, you can enjoy
Oh,
that, right?
you can definitely enjoy a burger, but you can have your fishing pole in your left hand and your burger in your right hand, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. We'll make an exception for that. Like
Yep.
I tell parents, Daniel, all the time, it's horrible. Your kids on their phones, it's absolutely awful. Unless they're watching Friedman Adventures and just let them run up the time, man. I'm all
Yeah.
for it. Homework is not that important when Friedman Adventures is on. Just kidding, everybody. All right, Doug Tilk says, "You mean won't catch fish if I'm talking with my friend Bert?" Bert is great, and he's talking about the great galley chef, we'll call him, on the Island Spirit. He's
Absolutely. We love Bert and his jokes and his food. Um, I think that the Seabass will forgive you if you're talking to Bert. They understand.
he gets out and works the deck too, man. He doesn't just stay in the galley when they're biting.
Yeah, he's awesome.
All right, Dan Lightfoot. Dan, it's great to see you for a change on a live update. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen." He's in Arizona with his mom, I'm assuming. I hope you're having a great one. All right, let's see. Greg, is it Gene, I think? I'm going to have to get glasses, obviously, or get some sleep, one of the two. For for a, what's that say, Daniel? For a
Says
knob?
for a
Noob.
noob
Okay,
trying
trying
to
to get.
get on a multi-day boat, what's the best bet for rental gear? Renting at the landing, the boat, or are there better options?
Man, you
So
got better eyes than me. Good job.
um I would recommend renting at the landing, depending what landing you're going on. If you're coming to Ventura, I mean, I might be biased, but I think we truly do have the nicest rental gear on the coast. Really good quality Californian rods, uh, equipment at Ventura Sportfishing. Most boats don't offer rental equipment. If you were to go on like a 6 pack kind of boat or um, long range boats, I think rent out equipment, but 90% of boats do not rent out equipment. So you're either gonna have to rent at the landing or find a decent setup at a tackle shop. And if this is something you're getting into, there's there's plenty of options. You can honestly just invest in one rod and one reel. That's kind of versatile, and you'll be able to use it for everything. So if you get something like a 6480, like a 8 foot rod, like kind of medium to heavy setup, and like a Pen Fathom, it's a really nice little 2 speed reel, super affordable, and you'll be able to, you know, you'll spend probably less than $500 on the whole thing, and it'll be a rod and reel that lasts forever, and you'll be able to catch everything you want to catch with it. So there's plenty of options. Obviously, if you go to a tackle shop, you'll be able to check out a bunch of stuff and see what feels the best for you. But yeah, I'd recommend investing in your own rod and reel if this is something you're going to be doing pretty often.
There you are,
Yeah.
Gene. Thanks for the great question. Lawrence says, "Hi, Mike Krinkovich in the house, the cranker in the house." All right, Daniel, both of you and I got to get some sleep, and I don't see any more questions here. One more time again, tomorrow, Kids Fish Free. Plenty of time for people to join you tomorrow. You're not full yet, are you, Daniel? Oh, shoot. We might have lost Daniel one more time. Hey, listen, he's not full. I know that for a fact. That was a rhetorical question. 805 676 3474 or Ventura Sportfishing.com. Ventura Sportfishing.com or 805 676 3474. You can join Daniel tomorrow on that great trip. And don't forget, send Chuck Zimmer a message right now if you want to get in on our next huge raffle that will support our Mexico efforts. A 3 day, $1,700 trip on the Shogun could be yours Man, you got to give that a shot. Text Chuck tonight for details 310-918-1448. And of course, I'll have even more details about that tomorrow. I can see now that Daniel dropped off, so now you're going to look at my ugly mug. Just look at the bright side of this. Looking at me right now, there's not anyone out there in that audience who feels like eating anything right now. I am the best thing in the world to help your diet along the way. All right, my friends, have a great one. I'm going to be back with you all tomorrow morning, bright and early. I'm just one good night's sleep away from feeling alive again. It's going to be a great morning briefing. We'll talk more about that great raffle that's going to be given away, by the way. We'll do it live from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club banquet for the Surf Fishing Derby next Saturday. That's when we're going to be giving that away. So you could come to the banquet and be there when we draw the winning ticket. You can purchase a ticket at the club that day if you want. If you didn't want to contact Chuck and do Venmo or do Zelle, you can come right to the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club starting at 2 p.m. on Saturday. And I believe the drawing is going to be about 8 o'clock at night. So you have from 2 to 8 to purchase more tickets and get in on a truly remarkable raffle. Hey, I want to thank all of you. So many of you joined us here tonight for this special live presentation. I really, really appreciate it. Grant, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for jumping on here at the end. Once again, I can't thank you all enough for all the likes. If you don't mind, hit that like button. That really helps us a lot. And also, we'll be up with the morning briefing, the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club fishing tournament. It's a surf fishing tournament, continues right now. It will continue until Saturday. And Mad Dog, who is saying hello right now, saying good night, Alberto. That's my middle name, Alberto. It's going to continue tomorrow, so we'll have updates on that. All right, Grant, take care. Everybody else, you guys, we love you so much. And remember, the reason for this weekend is the great men and women of the greatest country on the face of the earth in human history, the United States of America, the great men and women who put their lives on the line to protect us every single second, minute, hour, day, month, and year. They're always there for us, and we deeply, deeply appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, a couple guys are saying thank you. Au contraire, it's I who thank you for being here and for your great support, everybody. Take care. I'll see you in the morning briefing bright and early tomorrow. And send Chuck a text if you want to get in on that. Take care. And I hope to see you really, really soon.